Welcome into the Punt and Pass podcast. I'm your host, Drew Butler, joined alongside my co-host, Aaron Murray. And Aaron, I am just so fired up. SEC football is back this weekend. Yes, the NFL has been in full swing for 2 weeks. We've had great football in the ACC and in the Big 12. The Big 10 is coming back later on in October. Who knows about the Pac-12? But Murray, the time is here. SEC football is back this weekend, September 26th, and I am excited. We're going to talk about what happened last weekend. We'll give a quick preview as to what we're going to talk about on Thursday or Friday's show. But my man, I am blessed, grateful, thrilled. How are you doing?
Oh man, I'm with you on that one. It's like Christmas week. You wake up, a few days away, get all the excitement going on. It's been a great appetizer with some of these other conferences. I mean, we're an SEC country. SEC ball is the best ball in the land, and but it's been good, honestly. You know, I've enjoyed watching some more NFL. It's been good watching some of these ACC teams, especially your Miami Hurricanes, who you just love. It's been good watching those guys, and it's been fun kind of watching the Big 12 just played terrible. God, that conference over the weekend once again. I mean, Oklahoma State.
Wow.
You know, we didn't think it could get any worse for the Big 12. I mean, they still won, but the fact that they struggled against Tulsa that entire football game, it just was not a good look for that conference. Like I said, they did not play well 2 weeks ago. So it's been great appetizers, but the big boys play this weekend. Great matchups, and the more you kind of dive into them. I remember when everyone was kind of complaining a little bit that, oh, week one's not that great. There's not that many great matchups. They're just kind of easy into the season. Dude, there's a bunch of great SEC games. There's a couple that are going to be blowouts. I mean, you and I can kind of say that right now. Alabama's going to just destroy Missouri. That's one of them. And maybe another one. But overall, I think they're all great matchups. They're going to be four-quarter ball games. And it's going to be, I think, in my opinion, really good football this weekend to watch.
No, there's no doubt. It is an exciting time, and it's exactly what we've been waiting for, which I'm just so thrilled about. And if you've been following along, I know you have, be sure to follow us on social media, at Punt and Pass on Twitter and Instagram. I am at Drew Butler. Aaron is at Aaron Murray 11. And check out our YouTube page, because I'm looking at Aaron Murray right now, and he got a high-definition 4K camera. So he looks as good as he ever has. So our YouTube videos will be crystal clear for you to go check out on our brand new website, puntandpass.com. Head over there. It's football season. Pick up some merch in the locker room, read the blog, see our punt, pass, and picks each and every week. Murray, you and I, again, went 2-3. So we're off to a little bit of a slow start. 4-6, both of us on the season. But now we're getting into our bread and butter, which, of course, is SEC football. So check out puntandpass.com. Follow us on all social media. Let's go to one game that happened last weekend, one that I called perfectly. Of course, we'll start in that regard. But Georgia Tech hosted Central Florida. Central Florida ranked number 14. Georgia Tech coming off that huge win in Tallahassee against Florida State in week 1. And there's a lot of positivity and optimism around the Georgia Tech football program in Coach Collins' second season. Now, you pointed out something great. UCF missing a lot of players. I think 10 or more players opted out of the 2020 season. Yes, they were going on the road. Yes, Georgia Tech had the momentum. But I kind of pumped the brakes and I said, you know what? I'm rolling with the better team here. It was fantastic to see Georgia Tech get that victory. It was great to see the media here in the Southeast and Atlanta specifically say there might be something special behind this. Yes, it's just the first game, but it's a great sign in Coach Collins' second season. I said not so fast. I pulled the Lee course and I said absolutely not. Central Florida is going to wipe the floor with Georgia Tech. It was a fake facade of success because Florida State's so bad. And I was right. I was vindicated. I laid the 7.5 points. It was one of my 2 wins against the spread last weekend. UCF beat Georgia Tech 49-21. But to the Yellow Jackets' credit, they hung around for the first half. Second half, UCF just opened it up and Tech couldn't keep up.
Yeah, and listen, that offense for UCF it's lightning fast. It's amazing to me how many plays they can get in, how fast they can go. Dylan Gabriel, their quarterback, looked really efficient. And I was a little worried, first game of the season for them. Like you said, Georgia Tech had some momentum heading into the game. But I love the American. I feel like I say it every single week, but this conference is really darn good. I mean, I said it in my first comments of the show. Big 12 has looked trash this year. ACC is better. I think ACC this year. I mean, I go back to last season. I thought the American was a better conference from top to bottom
Yep.
than the ACC. I think the ACC has gained some depth this year. Obviously, adding Notre Dame's huge. North Carolina looks to be a good football team.
Miami on the way
Miami
too.
looks really
Yep.
good. So that conference is deeper, better, stronger. But I still think the American, with teams like UCF and teams like Cincinnati
Yeah.
and a few more, why not still? I know the addition of the Big Ten, and they're going to be playing this year. Maybe for some people thought, oh man, now that doesn't give a chance for a group of five to possibly get into the playoffs. If the Big 12 continues to play terrible football and Oklahoma slips up, because right now it looks like it's Oklahoma. I
Yeah.
don't know. Texas,
Just
they
don't know
look good
yet.
week one, but Texas has been the little brother for Oklahoma for a long time, and I
For
just don't see
sure.
them getting over that hump. Tom Herman, he's just not as good as a coach. So Oklahoma is the team in that conference, but if they stumble and if the American continues to look dominant like they have for the past 3 or 4 years, and there's an undefeated UCF, there's an undefeated Cincinnati, I just want to see these guys get the respect they deserve and get an opportunity to play with the big boys because year after year after year after year, they continue to win football games, they continue to prove their strength, and they're not rewarded for it. So, like I said, I hope they do get the shot because this win this week against a better Georgia Tech team. Once again, this
Yeah.
is not a
Yeah. That's
dominant
fair.
ACC team, but a better Georgia Tech team and a good conference in the ACC. And they beat them on the road 49-21. They should continue to earn more and more respect, in my opinion.
No, I totally agree with you. And once the American Athletic Conference gets into the swing of things and starts playing each other on a consistent basis as this season rolls on, I think that clear emerging leader will step up and start to put themselves in the national conversation against maybe a Big 12 team that slips up, against maybe a lackluster start from the Big 10. They're going to be well positioned. They just need to play consistent. A great look for Central Florida to beat a Power 5 opponent. It does not matter who the Power 5 opponent was, as I said last week. But you just talked about ACAC, Miami in particular. Look, I dumped on Rhett Lashley last week. I questioned Derek King. I said, let's just pump the brakes a little bit. We had one quick look at what they were capable of in week one, but they followed it up fantastically last week. It was the Saturday night game of the week, 7:30 p.m. on ABC, and Miami was up at one point on number 17 or 18 ranked Louisville, 47-27 in the fourth quarter. They win the football game 47-34. They jumped all the way up to number 12 in the top 25. Derek King was 18 for 30 for 325 yards and 3 touchdowns. And that defense, more importantly, Aaron, looks really good. Miami hosts Florida State this weekend. Of course, we're going to break this game down later on in the week. I'm just telling you right now, Miami's going to be 3-0. They are going to wipe the floor with the Seminoles. Am I in on Rhett Lashley? Have I made the jump to Miami's bandwagon? I'm getting there.
Yes.
I'm getting there. I have one
Yes,
foot
you
on.
have.
I have one foot on.
It's
If they vindicate my bet this weekend, I'm full on in the U.
Yeah, they look great. The new turnover chain's pretty damn sweet too. That thing is just heavy, 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 heavy. And
Yes.
I told you, man, a quarterback for a team full of great players. I mean, Miami is going to have talent. There's no question about it. Year in and year out, they're going to get dudes that can play football.
Yeah.
They just need confidence. They need someone to believe in. They need someone to lead them. And all of a sudden, you get a quarterback like Derek King, a leader, a guy that's played a lot of football, a guy that was super successful at Houston, 50 touchdowns
Yeah.
in a
Heisman
season,
candidate.
Heisman candidate, and then you're like, holy smokes, like that, this was the missing piece. Listen, before people want to say, oh, they're going to beat Clemson or they're going to beat North Carolina or they'll have a chance if they do end up playing Notre Dame at some point, like let's pump the brakes here. I mean, there's still
Agreed.
a
Agreed.
lot to go. This team is not, they're not Clemson. I think right now I think they played North Carolina at some point this season on the win. They think that would be a good game. They don't play Notre Dame, I believe, but they are a top four team, and like I said earlier, a more competitive ACC, a more dominant ACC,
A
and you
top
can
14 in
build.
the ACC.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you
Good.
can
Yes.
build on that, I would say. But yeah, I'm with you. Florida State right now is it's a little bit
Oh.
trashy. They don't have a
Oh.
coach, and it's so funny. I mean, you and I literally 2 weeks ago on the show were saying,
We
how we
thought
felt
Florida
like we
State
thought
would be
Florida State
better
was in
right
a
now
better position
to come
because we like
back.
the head coach a little bit
Yeah.
better. We thought they had a little bit more talent, a little bit more to work with, and like I said, one position, just the quarterback position alone, has completely changed this Miami offense, this Miami football team, the culture, the excitement, and they're going to be fun to watch this season because, like I said, they got plenty of talent. Cameron Harris at running back, Jordan at tight end, and then Derek King, and that defense is only going to continue to get nastier and nastier. So they are a team to watch out this entire season.
Yeah, no doubt. That was one of your wins last week on Punt, Pass, and Pick. You were confident about Miami getting the 2.5 points on the road. I mean, they absolutely smoked Louisville. They're off to a great start. I wonder if they will be able to keep up that momentum because you know the national narrative is about to get loud around them. And De'Aaron King, he has had that on his own spotlight in the past. So I look forward to seeing how they respond. Remember when Coach Rick in Miami got off to a fantastic start just a few years ago? They made it all the way to number 2 in the nation and then really stumbled in the last few weeks of the season. But the ACC, Miami, I mean, they've got stuff to play for. So I'm looking forward to following along. Like I just said, okay, I can still be critical of Rhett Lashley, but if they vindicate, which will definitively be one of my picks this week, Miami laying 10, 12, I don't even care how many points they're going to be favored by. I'm taking them. You just mentioned it. Florida State without head coach Mike Norvell, who's asymptomatic but tested positive for COVID-19, will not be traveling with the team. Miami's defensive ends in particular are fast. They're physical. They have a lot of depth at the position. And Florida State's offensive line is an embarrassment to college football. Florida State's offensive line looks like something that I could be a part of. Put me at right guard. Put me at right tackle since James Blackman is a righty. He could at least see the pressure that's coming his way. It is sad. And I think Miami is going to really take advantage of that and go to 3-0 and maybe sneak into the top 10 depending on what happens across the country. All right, so let's look towards this week. Quick episode today because we're going to have a jam-packed one later on in the week. Murray, we did a show last night for Campus Lore. It'll be out later on this week. We had DeAndre Swift on. It was really cool. And you and I disagree on a lot of games this weekend. So it is going to be a fun episode later on this week. But the punt and pass news, break, curse, whatever you want to call it, happened, of course, last week. You and I are sitting there going, hey, when's Georgia going to wear those sweet throwback jerseys? I published the episode. I shit you not, 10 minutes later on my phone, it's like, just announced Georgia's wearing the throwbacks week 1 at Arkansas. Do you like that move? I think it's great. I think they look great, and Georgia should roll. We'll get to that later on in the week, but it will look fresh, especially with this crisp fall air, SEC football back. I'm just in a good place right now.
Well, I think the most important thing, wear it for a game that you know you're going to absolutely dominate.
Yeah, exactly.
So, that was the problem with the black jerseys. They wore it in a game and lost. So then everyone's like, get rid of the black jerseys. You can never wear them again. And, it was unfortunate because I never got to wear a black jersey at Georgia, which I was depressed about.
Do you have one?
No, I don't. I would have loved to have one on my wall.
You don't even have one.
I don't even have one. We didn't wear one.
That's a joke.
They completely took all the black jerseys and just burned them, I think. So I think it's a perfect situation. Bring out some alternate uniforms, put a waxing on it, get the people excited about the unis, and then bring them out a couple more times this season. I think would be awesome. I'm a fan of the black ones because I do like the collar. I know you don't like the dog collar on them, but the white ones is the better of the two. So yes, perfect timing. And I don't want to get too much into the game because, like you said, we're going to be breaking them down later in the week. But hint, hint, Georgia is going to roll against Arkansas.
Yeah, no doubt. DeAndre Swift also said last night that he would love to see DeJuan Mathis start. Obviously, he knows DeJuan really well. He has seen DeJuan have to put up with that adversity through personal injury and really scary uncertainty of ever being able to play football again. I was delighted to hear DeAndre say, I look forward to seeing DeJuan Mathis on the field this weekend.
Well, he's also seen him. He's also seen him in practice. He knows the talent. He knows the potential. And that's something I saw from the first time I watched DeJuan throw the football. It's like, man, this kid, people may look at him as an athlete because he's a long runner, super, super athletic, great speed down the field. But you put him in the pocket, and if he feels comfortable, he can throw with the best of them in this country. So to me, he's a complete package. Yes. He just needs reps. He needs confidence. And that's something that's going to take time. Don't expect him to go out there and start throwing 4 touchdowns a week just because he is this talented. There's a lot to go into the quarterback mentality and confidence and all that stuff. So baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. But once again, playing a team like Arkansas week 1, even though it's on the road, should, if he is the guy, give him some confidence. And right now, I still don't think JT's even clear.
No, he's not.
So I think game week, the fact that JT is clear, I think all signs point to Dewan being the guy to get that first step this Saturday.
No, I totally agree. It's going to be really exciting to watch. We'll see who takes those first snaps. I would think it's Dewan, and you were high on Dewan
Yep.
early on when we started to hear his name get whispered when Jamie Newman transferred. And I like your thought process there. I think that the general consensus of the Georgia fan base was this. He was just kind of forgotten. And that's not anybody's fault. The guy had a
Mhm.
benign brain tumor. There's so much uncertainty that goes into that. You read the reports, you hear about his recovery. Obviously, everybody wishes him very well, but I think it was just kind of assumed that he might never play football again.
Yep.
So awesome that this could be a fantastic story in all of college football for 2020. But let me just say one thing, okay? I'm sitting here, Aaron. You and I have known each other for years and years, college teammates, obviously punt and pass for the past 4 seasons. To hear the SEC's all time leading quarterback in touchdown passes and passing yards, obviously Georgia's all time leading quarterback in that exact same categories as well. Tell me that he does not have a black jersey from Georgia. That's mind blowing. And I know I tweeted out last week to the Georgia football equipment team, we need these jerseys. I
I
need
know.
a Butler 13 white and black jersey. And now, for damn sure, Aaron Murray needs an Aaron Murray 11 black and white jersey. So, Georgia Equipment Room, John Mishat, the
Come on,
boys.
Misha. Let's
We
go.
we got to do this, guys. What do we have to do for you? I mean, this is not a one-way transaction.
No.
We can reciprocate. Tell us what needs to happen.
Mishad's a little, I heard he's a pretty good little golfer. So maybe we'll take him on a nice little
Okay.
round,
Okay, I like that.
take him to your hood. Maybe
Okay.
you'll bring me for once to the athletic club
There
and
you go,
have
Mishat.
some fun.
A home and home if jerseys are delivered, but especially
Yes.
for Aaron Murray. I mean, come on. The guy
I
is a
need a
legend,
black
and he does not have a
Georgia
black
jersey.
Georgia
There is a
jersey.
space on my wall in my office that is just begging for it. So it's ready to go
Can
whenever
I
the
send you
jersey's
one of my
delivered.
jerseys? Can I get a Butler 13 up there in the Murray
I
the
would
man
actually,
cave?
I actually would love it, but I got some extra Murray jerseys too. I got like three of them.
Perfect.
Um,
Done.
we can do a little switcheroo. I would love a good 13 right to my
Look at
left.
that camaraderie right there. I mean, all in the name of camaraderie, no doubt. All right, let's wrap this thing up. I'm just going to touch on two more games. Quick thoughts, because I know we're going to have an awesome show later on this week. I think this is going to be the best game of the week. You think the next one will be. Number 16, Tennessee, heading to Columbia, South Carolina to take on the Gamecocks. Tennessee's a road favorite here. 3 points as of now. Look, I love Tennessee's offensive line. I think they're going to be able to run the football. You and I have talked about how we know Jim Chaney really gets in his groove as a play caller when he can run the football. Jeremy Pruitt's defense is going to bring it. There's a lot of momentum around this Tennessee team. And then you just go, but
Who's their
Jared
quarterback?
Garantano's still
Who's
their
their quarterback?
quarterback.
Yeah,
So
he's
I
still
don't
there.
know. I just
Oh,
think this is going to be a great game. And I saw a tweet this morning. I forget who it was from. But it said, when you watch the Tennessee and South Carolina game, just completely know in your heart that the losing fan base is just going to be devastated. I mean, they will think 2020 is done. South Carolina will think it's the same old, same old. Tennessee will say Jarrett Garantano nevermore. I think there's a lot on the line for this game. I think it'll be close. That's why I think it'll be game of the week.
I'm gonna like the next game we talk about, but yeah, it's gonna be a great football game. I'll go back to my comments earlier, and people were upset. And then not upset. I don't even know if it's disappointed, but just we're hoping for maybe a couple big marquee matchups in this first week of SEC ball. But I think
Yeah,
this is a great matchup.
for
These are
sure.
two evenly matched teams. Tennessee, like you said, is coming in with a ton of momentum this year. So I'm excited to watch. I really want to see Bobo. I want to see what
Yeah,
Bobo
with
has
Colin
up his
Hill.
sleeve with Colin Hill, a quarterback that he's known for 3 or 4 years now, a guy who he's worked with, someone who knows his system, and if he's ready to bring out all of his tools. Because you know, obviously I worked with Bobo for a long time, but Bobo's a tremendous offensive coordinator. I know the Georgia fans would give him crap sometimes for certain situations, but we always had a top 3 or 4 offense in the SEC
No,
every single
bless
year.
you.
And you look at what he did at Colorado State offensively. Look at all the receivers that are now in the NFL that played at Colorado State. I mean,
Yeah,
he can put some points on the board offensively. It wasn't the offense that killed him at Colorado State. It was the fact that their defense was absolutely horrendous that got him fired there. So I'm excited to see what he can do. If he can bring some energy to that side, obviously you got Muschamp as a defensive kind of minded coach and head coach. I think it's a great, great combination of some really good coaching minds that could help South Carolina this season.
No question. I mean, it will be a great game, I think. And like you just said, I mean, you guys were averaging like over 40 points a game in Bobo's final years at Georgia. Losing in any situation, especially in the SEC, if you're scoring 40 points in the SEC, you should win that damn football game. It kind of reminds me right now of what the Atlanta Falcons are going through. I mean, for people to give Matt Ryan a hard time, the guy's throwing 70%. He's almost thrown for 800 yards and 6 touchdowns in 2 games. It ain't the offense's fault. The defense has to step up as well. Quickly, Aaron, you think this will be game of the week? Number 8, Auburn is hosting number 23, Kentucky. Auburn's a big favorite here. 7, 8-point favorite.
Mind
I
blown.
just think whenever Kentucky has the ability to take that step forward, they don't do it. It ain't going to happen this weekend. Auburn's going to win. We'll get into detail later on this week, but it will be a good game. I just think Tennessee, South Carolina will be closer.
No, I think the other one's going to be close. I think Kentucky at the line of scrimmage on both sides, offensive and defensive line, are really good. I think that's going to be the key early on in the season, as we've seen watching other conferences play, is who can block and who can tackle the best.
Yeah,
I mean, who can
especially in the early
play,
weeks, yeah.
who can play fundamental football early on until you kind of get the rust knocked off a little bit. So I think right now Kentucky has that ability to dominate the line of scrimmage, run the football. Terry Wilson's back.
Yep.
So I look honestly, I look at that game as kind of my game of the week. Actually, I don't know. There's that freaking Mississippi State LSU
You
game.
love
That's what I'm
that
saying.
game.
Like,
Just tease that real quick because that blew my
I
mind last night.
love that game.
Wow,
I mean,
tune
Drew,
in
I'm trying to
Thursday or
save
Friday.
some juice for our end of the week show over here, so I don't want to peak too soon.
Just say, I love this game.
I love that
All
game.
right, that's all you need to know.
There's so much good to watch this weekend. That's why I'm excited. I got a Friday game this week.
Here we go.
So I'll be back 10 a.m. I got 7 a.m. flight back Saturday morning. Me and the little man are gonna post up on the couch.
Yep.
He's gonna have his milk.
Yep.
I'm gonna have a couple Trulies.
There you go.
And we're just gonna sit back and watch SEC ball all day. It's gonna be his first SEC weekend.
I love that.
Really
Father-son
excited.
SEC weekend. Nothing better. Nothing.
Told Sharon she can do like a picnic with her girlfriends. Go out, get out of the house. I got little man for the day.
And the weather is going to be perfect. It is a beautiful time to be in the Southeast and to kick off SEC football. He just said it. We got a huge show lined up later on in the week. It's SEC kickoff. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Punt and Pass. Aaron is at Aaron Murray 11. I am at Drew Butler. Head on over to puntandpass.com for our picks, for the blog, for the merch shop, everything that you need for your college football knowledge in one place. Puntandpass.com. Murray, I appreciate you, my man. Prepare for that game this weekend. We have a jam-packed show coming for you later on this week. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you then. See ya.